Hi, traders. I am coming up on my 60th birthday. I'll be 60 years old in the next couple of days. It's sort of surreal to me because I've never been one to really focus on my birthday. I mean, I do have people in my life, family and team members, and even traders who make a big deal out of it, but I've never been one to make a big deal out of birthdays. But 60 is a milestone. It is something that I feel is somewhat more special than a lot of other birthday milestones. 60 is that point where you begin to be conscious and aware that the vast majority of your life has obviously passed by. The smallest portion of your life is in front of you. And I think that milestone sort of compels one to be a bit more reflective. I don't think the 40s does that as much. I don't think the 50s even do that as much. But that 60-year-old mark does do that. And so my team thought it might be interesting if I talked about what some of those reflections are coming upon my 60th birthday. And I do regard that as being special. First of all, I do want you all to know that I feel extraordinarily blessed and privileged to be able to do what I do, to continue to do what I love after 60 years of being on planet Earth. Now, many of you probably know this, but I dedicated my entire adult life, even a big portion of my adolescent life, to markets, to trading markets, to playing markets, to generating income via markets, and also accumulating wealth via markets. I started at the age of 15 years old. And from the age of 15 years old, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with my life, and I never did anything else. My entire life from the age of 15 years old was primarily focused on one thing. That was becoming skillful, masterful at scouring the financial markets, scouring Earth for income and wealth generating opportunities. And I've actually done nothing else with my life. And I feel blessed that I chose an activity that could be done well into one's years. Trading is that last bastion of total independence. I chose an activity to dedicate my life to that did not require a dependence on anyone else but myself. I chose an activity that in many ways is a spiritual one because it constantly demands that you be in touch with yourself, that you be honest with yourself. I chose an activity that is in many ways a microscopic version of life itself, meaning that anything that you do as a trader in the markets can be correlated with things that you do in your life, such as being responsible in your trades, correlates with being responsible in your life, cutting losses and things that potentially are destructive out of your trading life corresponds with doing the same thing in your general life. I've always said that it is impossible to become good at all the traits, to acquire all the traits that are required to be successful at trading and playing the markets, and not become better in your ordinary life. To become more responsible in your trading is to become more responsible in your overall life. To become more disciplined in your trading is to become more disciplined in your life. To become more exacting, to know when to double down on things in your trading is to learn that for your general life as well. To know when to end the relationship with a trade is also to know when to end certain relationships in your general life. It is a perfect mirror into your life. And at the age of 60, I reflect back on that and say, wow, I was very fortunate to not only have discovered this activity, but to have locked on it in such a passionate way that it became my life, because I can see now the profound effects that trading and market play has had on every aspect of my life. I am the person that I am today with all of the qualities I believe I have because of my lifelong dedication to markets and playing markets well, which requires that you know yourself well. I am also very thankful in the deepest way possible that I've been given the privilege, the opportunity to share the wealth of my 40 plus years of market play. I don't think that many people experience the joy that comes with sharing one's wealth, sharing one's wealth of knowledge, one's wealth of experience with others, and seeing how that sharing profoundly affects the lives of others. And that is, in my opinion, the most special part that I reflect on today as a 60-year-old, that I have been blessed in ways that most people haven't because I've been given the ability to share my passion and to share everything I've gone through with others. And it is very special to see how the sharing of that has influence and impact the lives of others. That is extraordinarily special to me. Today, I regard all those who have chosen to step on this path toward trading mastery, which is also a path of self-mastery. I've decided to regard each and every person who comes into my world in that respect as a family member. And yes, all of you are family to me. We share or have shared the same objectives, the same goals, the same life dreams, which really connect us in a very big and deep way. And I appreciate every single individual who finds themselves touched by the very same thing that touched me many years ago. This is an activity that you can do until the day you die. Unlike many other activities, it is an activity that will keep your mind sharp, that will keep you feeling and maybe even looking young. It demands certain things from you that will always have you in a state of alertness and at the height of awareness, and the mental acuity will always be there. The challenge with yourself will always be there. And so when I look back from the vantage point of being 60 now, I can't help but just to feel so incredibly blessed to be able to still do this, to be able to wake up every single morning and feel the same thrill, the same excitement that I felt at 15 years old, at 20 years old, at 25 years old. Nothing has changed. This activity continues to give me the same joy, the same sense of fulfillment. And it goes way over the top by adding the fact that I'm in a position to share all of my experiences, the depth of what I've gone through with you. And that's the cherry on top. There is nothing more fulfilling, in my opinion, than sharing. And this is something that I don't believe that you can truly feel and experience until you reach the age of 60 or so. Yes, I think that theoretically we can all understand that, yes, sharing with others is great and when you're in your 20s and 30s. But at the age of 60, it hits different, in my opinion. When I look back over my years and the 30 plus years of helping others do this, it is the deepest feeling of delight and self-satisfaction and profound contentment. Yes. That's what I reflect on. That's what I think about. I still feel that the future is bright. I still have fresh ideas that I want to do and accomplish with you, and I will. I feel that at the age of 60, I am absolutely at the top of my game in almost every aspect of my life. I feel better than I've ever felt in my life. I feel happier than I've ever felt in my life. I feel profoundly content with my life up until this point. Not that it's over, but up until this point, if it were to end right now, I would go out with this one thing, with this one thought. If I was given the opportunity to say if I would change anything, I would basically say, run it again. Run it again. I would do this all over again, every single time. So that's how I'm feeling at the age of 60. That's what I'm going through. That's what I'm reflecting on. I'm reflecting on you in many respects. So anyway, I want to thank you all for being a part of my life, being a part of my family. I want to thank you for trusting me with a very important part of your aspirations and your dreams and your goals. I made a promise a long time ago that anyone who's done that, I would do my very best professionally to give everything that I've experienced to you and to the people who've done that. And I hope I'm holding that promise in all of its glory. But for those of you in my Black team, it is my honor and my pleasure to invite you to my home for a very special celebration with you. One of the only celebrations that I've held in my personal home. And I do that because this one is a bit more special than the others. So it is my honor and privilege to have you come. I'm looking forward to that. And in the meantime, onward and upward. 60 is not the end. It's the beginning of a brand new era. All right? And so let's do this together. And thank you all for your happy birthday wishes. Ciao for now. Boom.